sure, for sure. But the halftime show was, it was dope to me. Like that shit was dope to me. I feel like he didn't necessarily like The Weeknd. A lot of spectacle. Beyonce, a lot of spectacle. Like, but that's because there is more theater involved. I think just in terms of The Weeknd as an artist and Beyonce as an artist, there's more theater involved inherently. Yeah. Versus Kendrick, who is a student of the game.
Oh yeah,
and Kendrick, it's all
content.
voice. It's all like I don't think people understand. Listen, as a rapper myself, I don't think y'all understand how difficult it is to go 15 minutes straight and like barely get a fucking break. Like my brother's breath control.
Yeah.
Astronomical. So that's why I can't fathom somebody being like, boring halftime show.
Yeah.
Like, you know? But
If anything, this was probably the least boring halftime show I've ever seen.
In a while.
It's spectacle-wise, maybe. Yeah. Right? It wasn't glitzy. There wasn't flashy shit going on. But like the shit he was spitting for how long he was spitting, like that's impressive, dude. Yeah. Nobody, like you said, nobody could do that.
Yeah. A lot of people can't fathom that shit for real.
Yeah.
But I do think there's like a disconnect between, it's kind of like what Rainey said. There are white people that obviously are just upset with the black guy performing or whatever. But then like my mother, she's pretty conservative. Well, I don't know, conservative, Republican, whatever you want to say. But she texted me and she's like, so what's like genuinely curious? Like what is the big deal with the halftime show? So like I try to explain to her and like now she's kind of into it. I think without
she's into Kendrick?
Not into Kendrick, but she's into like the whole
the
Drake
message,
the
the
Drake
idea.
Thing. I don't know if she's into the message. I tried to explain to her and she was she was like
it's weird, it's gay, it's too black, I don't get it.
I did try to say, well, some of the messages like America's built on the backs of black people, and she was like, yeah, so what? But and then I was like, all right, let's go back to the Drake stuff. Anyways, but yeah, I'm to finish off. I think there's just a disconnect of it could be an age thing. Like people may genuinely not know his songs. Like even before he was performing, I was at like a family event a couple weeks prior, and they were like, I don't even know who this guy is, and I'm like, this guy had the biggest song in like the last 20 years. It's like a cultural phenomenon. So,
Two Americas, man.
Yeah.
Two Americas.
Yeah.
Some people don't know who Kendrick Lamar is, and I have no fucking clue who Jelly Roll is.
Yeah, I have no idea who Jelly Roll is.
Who the fuck is Jelly Roll? Like I feel like they just make like. I remember it was the Grammys or the whatever the award show before the Grammys was. I don't remember
the award show or whatever.
Something.
Like the actual award show before the Grammys.
Yeah, like whatever that was. It was the country. I think it was the Country Music Awards.
The
or something.
CMTs. Yeah.
And people just kept listing off names like. And Jelly Roll and Gillis McGillicuddy shows up at, and I'm like, who the fuck are these people, bro? So I do understand it to an extent because I am on the other side of that. I have no fucking clue. None of these folks are.
Yeah. We had a couple of episodes ago, one of our guests was like this big gay redneck, and he said one of his nicknames was Jelly Hole because he looked like.
Oh my God, dude!
And I was like. I find that funny, but I don't know who
genius.
Jelly Roll is.
That's fucking genius. Jelly Hole?
Jelly Hole. That's pretty funny. I think it's pretty funny.
My God.
Kind of gross. The last thing I want in a hole is jelly.
Oh my God. Amazing. I love that shit.
Especially a dude hole.
Come on. Yeah.
But yeah, well, to be honest, like I also didn't understand. I'm not a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I didn't understand like the beef with Drake. I didn't understand the nuances and politics around this halftime show. But I still appreciate it for what it was. Yeah. Like I didn't immediately hate on it. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's cool. I didn't get it, but it was cool.
Yeah.
But other people are like, that sucked. I didn't get it. That sucked. And I was like, that's a crazy perspective to have on it.
Yeah.
You know?
So a quick little crash course on the beef for anyone uninitiated who listens to this podcast or is watching right now. Kendrick Lamar and Drake had a relationship early on in Kendrick's career when he was sort of starting to take off and building up to his first studio album, which I think was... Good Kid, Mad City, or that was his second one, actually. Section 80 was his first. But anyway, he had Drake featured on there, and Drake would do what Drake does, which is really just kind of shoehorn in like, yo, this guy's the greatest. I fuck with him so much. That's my brother for real. Right? So then, a couple years later, or actually that same year, in 2011, Kendrick Lamar drops a verse on a song by Big Sean called Control. And in that verse, he's calling out rappers by name. And he's saying like Wale, Drake, Big Crit, like people that he respects, essentially. And he's like, yo, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder y'all. Make sure your fans don't hear another noun or verb from y'all. So the only person to take that shit to heart was Drake. Everybody else that they interviewed about this shit and they asked about this shit was like, that's love. That's the name of the game. Like, this is rap. This is the sport.
Wow.
And Drake has had a chip on his shoulder about that shit since 2011. Then, at a BET cypher, Kendrick drops the line, "Nothing been the same since they dropped Control," and tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Ooh. He did that shit in front of a live audience and the whole world on the internet. Yeah. Drake didn't like that shit, and it has been a silent back and forth ever since of them just kind of silently jabbing at each other. And then like the history and the politics of this shit is so insane to the point where like, for example, like Drake had this really embarrassing moment with Rihanna at the Grammys where he sort of confessed his love to her on stage and shit. Super weirdo vibes. On the following album, Kendrick has Rihanna as a feature.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like this motherfucker, Kendrick is a sick fuck, bro. Like he's 5'5" and insane. Yes. Like I don't think, and in the album before this one on Mr. Morale in the Big Steppers, he has a hook where he's like, "Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song."
Oh shit.
And he's so it's been in this silent back and forth until it came to a head on Like That.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, like for all your dogs getting buried, you gonna see Pet Cemetery. And he was like, yo, just and also on the album before that on oh my God, what is it? On Damn, he was like, yo, just say his name and I promise that you'll see Candyman. And Drake said his name. Sure enough, he fucking saw Candyman. So
oh my God.
That's a little crash course on the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. There's way more to it, but you're welcome, friends.
So basically, what I'm getting from this is Kendrick Lamar started this shit.
Low key, if that is a perspective. Yeah, that is a perspective.
He started it and he
fucking finished it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's and then it's crazy. But then also, like, did Drake respond to this? Did Drake do anything since it happened?
No.
Since the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think he directly responded. I think he had a concert at the same time, and maybe he like threw a line in that I didn't really catch. I saw a couple of videos on TikTok, but I don't think he really like acknowledged it.
Yeah,
much.
I think he said something to the effect of like, look at me, I'm still alive. Check your boy, he never died. Or something like that.
Wow.
And he also did like a walkout at one of his shows wearing a hoodie with smoking bullet holes,
yeah.
Which is the most, hey, I said this on Victory Lap, I'm saying it again. Drake, you're killing us light skins, bro. You're killing us, bro. You gotta, the light skin antics is getting crazy. You're rivaling LL Cool J right now, okay? Like,
oh yeah, he's not cool. We don't. Yeah, LL Cool J is far from cool,
dude. Yeah. LL Cool J. Do you remember Deep Blue Sea?
Oh, I love that movie.
I love that movie too.
It's a great movie.
Do you remember the soundtrack and the video?
I don't remember the soundtrack of the video.
They had LL Cool J in a leather harness with exposed nipples.
Oh,
in a pool full of 3D sharks.
And I'm like, what? That was badass. I probably saw that when I was younger, and I was like, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Wow, yeah. That's where that fucking leather vest, nipples exposed thing started.
Yeah.
It's like all the boy bands and shit were doing that in the early 2000s.
It was LL, man. LL, like, yeah, he's really like that. To quote Kendrick Lamar. But yeah, Drake, man, not good PR for the light skins, brother. You gotta settle down, my dog.
Yeah, this guy's gotta stop fucking kids. And
oh my God. Fuck.
So, I mean, I don't even know the pedophile stuff, right? But like I guess Kendrick Lamar was wearing the lowercase a for the A minor thing,
the A minor bar, yeah.
Well, before you go, I did hear that, but apparently that's not what that.
Oh, is that not what that is?
Is that not just the PG Lang A?
It's something. Yeah, I don't know what that is. You probably would know more about that, but I read that today. That's
Yeah.
not. It might have been maybe a double
Entendre?
entendre. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what he was going for, but that wasn't what it was.
Well, I have for my sons, I have a G on the side of my head tattooed.
Oh, sick.
And it's actually uppercase and lowercase to represent the older and younger brother.
That's
Because
awesome.
both their names start with a G.
Yeah.
So I interpreted that as like Drake's son's name is Adonis.
oh no.
You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and the worst thing, maybe the best thing, depending on who you ask about Kendrick, is that he's not gonna confirm or deny anything.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna let shit float in the wind and let shit be what it is. So my interpretation of that might have been like, yo, is this a lowercase a like yo, your little man Adonis is my son now. I got his letter.
Oh man.
Wrapped around my neck on the fucking biggest stage in the world in front of 150 million, however many viewers it is. Sick fuck, dude.
That's
He's a sick
crazy.
fuck.
I love it.
Yeah, that's energy for real.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the beauty of the performance in general, because when you're watching
The ambiguity, you mean?
yeah, when you're watching it, you're like, okay, this is not like grandeur. There's not like any fireworks. Nothing crazy is really happening. It's just him and the dancers, and then it's just one of those things where you're watching it after, and you're just seeing everyone's interpretation of whatever the message is.
Yeah,
And I feel like you don't do that with like you kind of did it with The Weeknd, but like Rihanna and Beyonce, I'm not necessarily sure or remember them having like.
Oh, Beyonce got ripped to shreds. Remember?
Yeah.
She had the whole Black Panther march.
So-
like, you know what I'm saying?
So never mind what I just said.
Yeah, she did. You can fact check me on this, but she performed "America Has a Problem" with like the whole troupe of like militant. You know what I'm saying? You remember that?
I remember.
Yeah, she got fucking ripped apart for that shit. The racists did not like that shit at all.
They did not like it, but I've watched that halftime show quite a few times. Jerked off to it.
Oh my god. Okay, Raj. This has been a great episode.
Well, no, Beyonce. She looked pretty damn good in that one.
But to move on,
So anyway,
there were I had a lot of I had a couple of I saw a lot of left-leaning friends of mine that were upset that Kendrick didn't take the opportunity to take any shots at Trump because he was present. I don't know, what are your thoughts? What's everyone's thoughts on that?
Even if Kendrick did take shots at Trump, they wouldn't have been good. So why are they upset that?
So my take is that the whole performance was kind of that.
A shot at Trump.
Yeah,
And
it's not like the 1930s Olympics where it's like a very clear and distinct, like, yo, this black man is smoking y'all on this track.
In Berlin,
and also fuck you Hitler. Like that's the black gold medal on a black man defeating Germans in Germany in front of this guy. Like that's very clearly that. But I think we're past that point just in general. Like I think that people in general have more wherewithal and just are generally sharper. And I think for me personally, I think the whole performance was a jab at Trump. Like having the dancers in American flag colors, having all of them be visibly black, dark skinned, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Samuel L. Jackson is Uncle Sam.
Yeah. Who was also a literal Black Panther. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he was involved with MLK somehow. Like, I'm pretty sure he was like an altar boy at like MLK's wedding or some shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it was some shit like that. Like Eric, if you want to look it up, but his mom or he himself was a Black Panther. So like, it's Kendrick, man. Like it's subtext. You know what I mean? Subtext.
Yeah.
Like I think that whole performance was a jab at Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Like, once again, I didn't know about the Drake and Kendrick beef. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is a political statement. And it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
He was a member of the Black Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. Yeah.
But sorry, you go ahead, Raj.
No. I was just going to say, like, to me, it felt like a political statement. So, like you said, I felt the whole thing was a jab at our current political situation. Maybe not directly at Trump.
Yeah.
Well, indirectly at Trump, but what our politics has come to nowadays. And I thought this was a super bold statement of like not a single white person on that floor.
Yeah.
And with all the stuff that's happening with DEI and immigration and stuff, I think it's really important to show that people of color are here. We're staying. We are valuable. We need to be here. And that's what I took from it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I just hate the sentiment that it should have been directed towards Trump, because the message, I feel like, would stay the same had Biden still been president and
Exactly.
attending the game. Like, it's not they're two, not to say they're two sides of the same coin, but they kind of are.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, going back to Raj's comedy, yeah, like that's kind of the whole point. It's like, guys, like one of them is playing in our face, the other is
behind our backs.
is playing behind our backs.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like that meme of like the gay flag on the drone bomber. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. There is a fundamental issue. You know what I mean? It's not like one guy versus another. One guy is clearly worse.
Yeah.
Clearly worse.
Yeah.
But
They're both bad.
there's still issues here. You know, and like you were mentioning, like the whole DEI thing. I think tinfoil fitted time.